There's a popular image of the enlightened being as someone who is perpetually calm and agreeable, who never makes waves. A kind of spiritual doormat who meets injustice and harm with a placid, unbothered smile. But this spiritual bypassing is not the Buddha's path. Consider the story of the Buddha confronting Angulimala, a notorious serial killer wearing a garland of his victim's fingers. The Buddha didn't ignore him or run away. He walked calmly and directly towards the danger, meeting the killer's murderous rage not with passivity, but with a fearless, unshakable compassion that completely disarmed him. This is the image of fierce compassion. The Buddha demonstrates that the opposite of reactive rage isn't weakness. It's a powerful, focused, and deeply compassionate strength. He shows us that the goal isn't to extinguish our fire, but to learn how to transform it from a destructive wildfire into a bright, focused flame. This leads us to a vital question for anyone on a spiritual path. What do we do when just observing our anger isn't enough? When we feel the raw, powerful, underlying energy of rage, is there a way to do more than just watch it? Can that fire be harnessed for good? This energy can feel overwhelming. Simple observation can sometimes feel like trying to stop a tidal wave with a teacup. We long for a way to actively work with it, to transform it. Today, we're going to explore the Buddhist art of emotional alchemy. We'll move beyond simple mindfulness to a 3-step practice for transforming the destructive energy of anger into the powerful, protective warmth of compassion and the fuel for wise, courageous action. This practice of transforming anger is not about suppression or distraction. It is a skillful, 3-step process of meeting, understanding, and redirecting one of the mind's most powerful energies. Step 1. Acknowledge the fire without fanning the flames. The first step is pure mindfulness, but with a specific goal: to create a safe container. When a surge of anger or rage arises, the first instruction is non-action. Do not speak. Do not type. Do not send that email. Just pause. This pause creates the crucial gap between the stimulus and our habitual reaction. In that gap, you turn inward. First, you silently and non-judgmentally name what is present. Anger is here. Then you shift your attention entirely from the story in your head, the story of who's to blame and what's unfair, and you locate the raw energy of the anger in your body. Where is this fire? Is it a tightness in your jaw? A burning in your chest? Clenched fists? By grounding the experience in the physical sensations, you stop feeding the mental story that is the fuel for the rage. You are like a firefighter whose first job is not to judge, but to contain the blaze so it doesn't burn down the whole neighborhood. Step 2. Investigate the wound with compassion. Once the initial reactive heat is contained, you can move to the second step: wise investigation. Anger is almost always a secondary emotion. It is a fierce guard dog protecting a softer, more vulnerable part of ourselves. With a gentle, curious mind, you can ask the anger a question. What are you trying to protect? What is the hurt that lies beneath this? Listen quietly for the answer. Beneath the hard shell of anger, you will almost always find a softer place of hurt, fear, disrespect, or a feeling that a deep value, like justice, has been violated. When you touch this vulnerable place, your whole perspective shifts. You realize, this anger is my mind's misguided attempt to protect me from this pain. Your relationship changes from being identified with the anger to feeling compassion for the part of you that is hurting. You are no longer trying to silence a barking dog. You are trying to understand what it's so afraid of. Step 3. Transform the fuel. The alchemy of Mettā. This is the final transformative step. Now that you have contained the energy and understood its source, you can actively redirect it. The direct antidote in the Buddhist tradition for the hot energy of ill will is the warm energy of Mettā, or loving kindness. First, you apply this warmth to the wound you just discovered. Directing it inward, you can offer yourself phrases like, "May I be safe. May this hurt be soothed. May I be at peace." You are using the energy of care to heal the vulnerable place the anger was trying to protect. Then, you can perform the final act of alchemy. Anger has a powerful energetic wish. I want this suffering to stop. You can take that very same intensity and transform it into the universal wish of compassion. May all beings be safe. May all beings be free from this kind of suffering. It is like being a blacksmith. Anger is the raw, dangerous burning coal. Mindfulness contains it in the forge. Investigation understands its nature. And compassion is the final act of the hammer, shaping that intense heat from a weapon that harms into a shield that protects. The energy is not destroyed, it is transformed. This inner alchemy is a beautiful practice. But what happens when we face real-world injustice or harm? Does transforming our anger mean we become passive? Does it mean we let people walk all over us? Absolutely not. In fact, it's the opposite. This practice is what allows us to act with true strength and clarity. Action that comes from raw, reactive rage is often messy and unfocused. It's driven by the desire to punish, and it frequently creates more suffering for everyone, including ourselves. It burns us out. Action that comes from fierce compassion, from anger that has been transformed, is clear, powerful, and sustainable. It isn't driven by hatred. It is fueled by a deep and powerful desire to protect the vulnerable and alleviate suffering. This is the energy that allows you to set a firm, unshakable boundary. It's the energy that allows you to speak truth to power with a clear voice, not a trembling one. The outer action might even look the same, saying a firm no, for instance. But because the inner motivation is one of compassion and not hatred, the outcome is far more skillful and effective. Transforming your anger doesn't take away your power. It refines it. You stop being a destructive wildfire and become a focused laser beam, able to address the true cause of harm without getting burned by your own reactivity. To make this practice accessible in the heat of the moment, you can use a simple, physical anchor. Let's call it the hand on the heart. The next time you feel that initial flash of anger, before you say or do anything, try this. Simply place a hand on your own chest or heart. This single, simple gesture can become a trigger for the entire 3-step process. 1. The physical touch is step 1. Acknowledging. It's a gesture that says, I'm here. I'm pausing. I am containing this energy. It grounds you in your body. 2. The gentle pressure is step 2. Investigating. As you feel the warmth of your hand, you can silently ask, what is the hurt here? You are bringing kindness directly to the vulnerable place. 3. The inner shift is step 3. Transforming. From this place of self-compassion, you can form a wiser intention. May I handle this situation with strength and clarity. This simple gesture can be your anchor in the storm, a way to quickly move from blind reaction to a wise and compassionate response. Anger is an energy. It is not your enemy. When it is unconscious and reactive, it is a destructive fire. But when it is met with mindfulness, investigation, and compassion, its immense power can be harnessed and transformed into the very fuel for our courage and our care. Your anger is a messenger, pointing to a deep wound or a violated value that needs your compassionate attention. Learning to listen to it skillfully is a path of profound self-healing and empowerment. The goal isn't a life without fire. It's a life where you have learned to be a wise and compassionate blacksmith, shaping that fire into a light that can protect you and illuminate the world. What is one situation where you feel transforming your anger into fierce compassion could lead to a more skillful outcome? Please share your thoughts in the comments. If this exploration was helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the Mindful Compass. Thank you for exploring this with me. May you have the courage to meet your own fire and the wisdom to shape it into a light that benefits the world.